Elon Musk has just traveled to South Korea to talk to the president of South Korea about building a gigafactory there. Is this likely? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name is Sam Evans. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Right now, Tesla does have their hands full. To be fair, they have just decided to build a new mega factory in China. They're trying to ramp up their gigafactory in Berlin. They're trying to ramp up their gigafactory in Texas. They're in the process of retooling production lines for the new Tesla Model 3. The new Model Y will come soon. They're building battery factories. They're building cathode-anode factories. They're also building a new factory in Mexico, a gigafactory, probably the biggest one they've ever built. What's going on? But still, Elon Musk is being sued by some Tesla investors because he's not spending enough time on the company. That's what they say. Well, now Sth Korean President Yoon Suk has met with Elon Musk in Washington, D.C. during a 6-day visit to the United States. The meeting was at Musk's personal request to discuss the possibility of Tesla building a gigafactory in Korea, which is an interesting idea. Not really sure why they would do that, but I guess it would mean they'll be less dependent on the Chinese president and his whims in the future. Yonhap, a Korean news agency, summarized the meeting, saying that Yoon emphasized that South Korea boasts world-class manufacturing robots and an advanced labor force, making it an ideal location to run a gigafactory. Now, I don't think Tesla would be very likely to use random robots, just say, oh, you've got some good robots for us there to use. Sweet, we'll use those then. Okay, guys. That's just a bit ridiculous. Obviously, they're going to use their current robotics firm. They have Groman Engineering, which is, I believe, a German company that now Tesla own. It's very likely they won't just use some random Korean robots. But anyhow, Yoon said this: should Tesla decide to invest, we will provide active support in terms of location, workforce, and taxes. In other words, the South Korean president is saying, we'll give you some tax breaks and some other discounts, stuff like that. In their previous meeting, Yoon had a similar message, that Korea had a world-class automotive industry and that Korea would work to improve regulations to allow for easier foreign investment into the country. We have no transcript of that meeting at all, not that I'm aware of, I haven't seen one. However, it sounds like basically the president of South Korea is saying, yeah, GM, they've got factories there. You can just take over those. GM will be gone very soon. Their sales are already down 50% over the past 12 months. Seriously, I kid you not, down 50. I think it's about 53% over the past 12 months. No one wants GM's cars anymore. Tesla, just take over their factories. You can have them. You can keep them. They're not really saying that, but yeah. I mean, basically, Tesla does have plenty of people who have worked in the automotive industry, who have been fired or will be soon fired, that they can hire courtesy of General Motors for them. So that's something. Musk reportedly responded by stating that he expects to visit South Korea and that the country remains a candidate for a gigafactory in the future. Korea was already on Tesla's shortlist for potential new gigafactory locations, and the president of South Korea met Musk virtually in November to discuss this possibility. So this has been in discussion for probably close to 6 months by now. At the time, rumors included that Tesla was considering a gigafactory in Mexico or Canada. Well, obviously it's now been confirmed that Mexico was the correct location, very close to Tesla's gigafactory in Texas. That makes a lot of sense. However, Tesla really, I can see why they might be considering South Korea. I'll tell you one thing about South Korea. People in South Korea work extremely hard. They're probably the hardest working people on the planet. Many different research studies that I've seen say that. And I've met people who are from South Korea and wow, when they tell you the hours they work hard. But I don't know that working long hours means you're going to be efficient. So I'm not really sure that's really what Tesla is looking for. When they look for efficiency, production efficiency, bringing down the cost of their vehicles, what they need is a qualified workforce. What they need is the right supply chain. Do they have the right supply chain? Well, China is very close. Obviously, I'm assuming Tesla will just be getting the majority of the parts for cars, if they were to build them in South Korea, from their suppliers in China, at least for the first few years. Given Tesla's goal to expand sales by 50% per year for the foreseeable future, I'm guessing 10 plus years, that means if they're aiming for selling 20 million vehicles per year, they definitely need another factory. So there has to be something after Mexico. Does that mean it'll be in South Korea? I don't know, but it could be possible. Now, Tesla already operates one factory in Shanghai. They're obviously building a mega factory as well in China for battery production. I mean, mega pack battery production, not cell production. However, Asia and Southeast Asia together comprise about 50% of the world's population. You've got obviously the Chinese market. Then you've got countries like Thailand, where EVs are actually very popular. You've also got Singapore. And in addition, access to the Japanese car market. Now, South Korea do have an agreement with Japan, kind of like a cross-border trade agreement. Could that benefit Tesla potentially? I don't know, but I can tell you this, the Japanese are very patriotic about their own cars. They're very concerned they're losing global market share when it comes to the electric car disruption that's happening right now. So I can't see any manufacturers selling vehicles all that well in Japan. I think they'll hold on to their market. It'll be one of the last markets to really fully electrify because its own automakers aren't electrifying. Toyota, Honda, etc. Korea is obviously a big player in the EV industry though. This could be the big trump card for Tesla here because they already have factories set up, right? For example, Hyundai already provides General Motors with many of the parts that go into GM's electric vehicles. Hyundai Grobus, for example, they're one of the biggest companies on the face of the earth. Then you've got Kia and Hyundai and their electric vehicle supply chain, which is already set up in South Korea. Tesla could definitely benefit from that. But I can't imagine that that would be cheap. I mean, then they'll be competing on price to some degree with Hyundai and Kia. They would need some other advantages that I'm not really seeing right now. Can you see what those are? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. One thing to keep in mind, Korea is a free trade partner with America. China is not. That means that if Tesla did build vehicles in South Korea, it could export them to the United States and potentially get 50% reduction. So in other words, it would qualify for the 50% of the IRA vehicle incentives. I don't personally think this is a big advantage. I think Tesla would be much better off just building a factory in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, which I believe they plan to do in Mexico, where they will manufacture CATL's lithium iron phosphate batteries, or even their own lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are what they need to make this affordable, cheap car. So I'm not really sure how South Korea comes into this picture. If Tesla does decide to make cars there, I don't think it'll happen for a very long time. I think they probably wouldn't announce this until next year at the earliest, if they do decide to do it. One thing I would say that might dissuade Tesla are not real big on unions. Good or bad, that's the way they are. And South Korea are really, really into unions. It's a kind of a different world over there. You don't really fully understand it until you get there. Things like if you die, your family should be able to take your place at the factory. Just some strange rules that I'm not sure that Tesla would really go, yeah, sounds good. We're going to go and build a factory in Korea. I think Mexico is probably a bit easier for them to understand. The only thing is, Mexico does need some things that South Korea has, and vice versa. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think a South Korean factory, Giga-factory, is on the cards and likely for Tesla?